Hello, in this video we'll show you how to move an index volume with Enterprise Vault 9 in order to free up some space. There's a great new indexing utility in Enterprise Vault 10, so please take a look at my Moving an Index Volume in EV10 video if you're working with that version. You might need to move some index volumes from one location to another for a variety of reasons. These would include lack of storage on an existing drive, so you need to move some index volumes to another location. You might be moving to new storage entirely and the old hardware is being decommissioned. Also, you might have noticed that indexing or searching performance is being impacted because the drive is close to the maximum I/O. Note, the Enterprise Vault admin service will shut down EV services if there's no space left for indexes. Here we are in the Enterprise Vault admin console. First of all, we'll navigate to the indexing service and determine the location of the indexing volumes. Here you see in my demo environment that I've got all the index volumes on the C drive. Obviously, this is not a good practice and it's going to be bad for performance. It's also likely that I'm going to run out of space quite quickly. There are a number of steps that you need to go through in order to move index volumes from one location to another. In this example, we'll decide which volume or volumes we're going to move, and we're going to find some archives and do a test search in those archives so that after we've done the move, we can make sure that the searches are still working and returning the same results. We're then going to do the actual move by placing the indexes into backup mode, add the new location to the indexing service so that new index volumes will be created in the new location. We're going to copy the data from the old location to the new location. We then need to update the index volumes on the archives that we've chosen and rename the old location so that we're sure that it's not being used. We're then going to rerun the test search to ensure the new location is active. And then after that, we take the EV indexes out of backup mode so that new items can be added to the index and old items deleted. Then over the next few days, we need to review the event logs, specifically looking out for anything to do with indexing errors. And then, again, after a few days, we delete the old location, which will finally free up the space. So in this test environment, I have all my index locations on the C drive. Here they all are. I now want to use Windows Explorer to check the sizes. Of course, in my test environment this is quite quick, but in your production environment it might take a little while to count through the size of the indexes. For this test again, I'm going to concentrate on some index volumes that are in index location 1. So in this first step, we need to find some archives that have index volumes on the locations we've decided to move. In SQL Management Studio we can run this query, which will return the index volumes in our environment. Here you can see all the ones that are in index location 1. For this test, I'm going to move Simon Fisher's index volumes and ROS4 index volumes. Both of these have just over 1,000 items each in their archive. Now let's go back to the Vault admin console and do a search on Simon Fisher's archive. First of all, we need to give the Vault admin account access to be able to do the search. Then we do the search, and we're simply making a note of the number of results that are returned. Now we do the same on ROS4. And we make a note of the number of results returned there as well. Now we want to put Enterprise Vault indexes into backup mode. There are two choices here. You can go back to the services list and in the indexing service, index locations tab, you can put index volumes and index locations in backup mode here. But for my test, I'm going to set them at the top of the site. I'm going to set backup mode on all index locations. Now I'm going to add the new index location to the list of index locations for this indexing service. This is where the new index locations are going to be stored. There we see them in the list now. Now one of the things that SQL Enterprise Manager has told us here is the entry ID, which equates to the folder name on disk. So if we look over in our Windows Explorer at the index location 1, we can see these two folders are for that index volume that we want to move. So I'm going to copy these two index volumes over there like that. That will obviously take some more time in your production environment. Now we need to update the index volume on the archives. If we go to the Exchange Mailbox archive location here, and we go to Simon's archive, here on the Index Volumes tab you can see the current locations listed. We do change location, and we pick the new location and say OK. And you do get a pop-up warning here telling you that you need to have made sure that you have copied the data to the new location, and do you want to continue. We've already done that, so we'll say yes. And there you can see it's successfully updated SQL for us. And we'll just do the same now on the ROS4 archive. So there you can see we've copied the files over to the new location. We just need now to go back to the old location, and we want to rename each of these folders like so. This way now when we do the searches we can be sure that we're using the information on the new index locations. Now we can do a test again to ensure that we get the same results. There you can see we had 1,318 last time, and we do this time as well. Let's do the same on ROS4. And there we go again with the same number of results. Now we know that searching is working. Now we can go back up to the site and clear backup mode from all the index locations. Like so. That's it as far as the actual move goes. It's then good practice to monitor the Enterprise Vault event logs for the next few days, particularly after the next couple of archiving runs. This is just to see if any issues crop up with the indexes. Then, after 2 or 3 days, it's safe to go and delete the old folder from the file system using Windows Explorer. In summary then, we've seen that we might need to move index volumes for a number of reasons. For example, lack of storage on an existing drive, we're decommissioning the current hardware and moving to new hardware, or indexing and searching performance is impacted because we're close to maximum I/O. As we've seen, this can be quite a long process to follow. It's great for moving a few index volumes, but in another video we'll cover how to move all the index volume locations en masse to a new location. I hope that showing you how to move an index volume in Enterprise Vault 9 proves useful to you. Thank you. Goodbye.